Miami, Florida. He and weighed in at 100 instructions.
Good luck to both of you.
For the IBF championship, and then stopped Mercado. Guy to find, Gil. He's very good defensively.
Hopkins came out quickly, just the way he told us he was going. But again, that may be
Hopkins, an excellent mechanic, well schooled. He does have some power, although it's more often heavy punches.
Big right hand.
Yes, that's right. That's the. A minute to go in the first championship action on the CBS Sport. Punches. Tim Ryan and Gil Clancy watching the Johnson and Burns. Bernard Hopkins has into this year. Johnson's last outing at second
to phase Johnson.
Now living in Miami, as we said. Three-time Florida Golden Glove champion.
Is going to have to nail Hopkins with a couple times right now.
To box until he was 20 years old. That is a good left hand from Hopkins.
That is a very interesting point, Tim. And again, you can see Hopkins when he has a guy hurt. Really trying to get him out of there.
Pouring it on, but good defense by Johnson. He covers up well with his hands up high. Hopkins trying to find openings, pounding it to have to do. There with some good defense. Fired a low blow there. Hopkins looking very relaxed here. Throwing
those punches, Tim.
Going round two. Champion Hopkins, final seconds. Round two. Philadelphia, the challenger is Glen Johnson from Miami. Macon born.
And Tim and I don't know whether they've scouted Hopkins.
John Jackson, Joe Lippman. Who idolizes Marvin.
There's that uppercut, Tim.
Body from Hopkins.
Again, Hopkins takes it. It's a very dangerous punch.
Just as past May, he's in court. And since doing so, hasn't been real active.
You drag back with that jab. Now they're yelling in the corner that he has to touch Hopkins with the jab.
Punch in the book, as you said, he's a complete fighter. But Johnson for the first time in the fight. And he lands a left hook lead. That shook Johnson. Showing a left hook lead, a right hand lead.
Here's that uppercut again by Hopkins. His jab, he's going to have to bury the jab.
And Burns, the trainer, he lands an overhand right. Hopkins pulled away, reducing the impact. And now Hopkins fires back here. That shook Johnson. He got Hopkins trying to pour it on here. And again, that peekaboo style.
Good left hooks to the body by Johnson.
You look like you're afraid to touch him with it. That right uppercut lead. Knocked down so far.
Any distance.
Two good left hand.
There's the jab that Hopkins is throwing. That's what Johnson.
He's been waiting to counter. With the right hand lead. Hopkins over the ticket here in the fourth round.
He's in his zone. In there. He's going to have to land a big punch
for 5. Scheduled for 12. Point because he's been letting Hopkins close at 32 wins, but he knows Hopkins.
Right. Target practice for Hopkins.
Number 5. Fired it so quickly. Morning.
There you go.
Short, sharp right by Hopkins bothered Johnson. He's backed him into the Johnson corner. Against the assault from Hopkins, but he is backing up, and there's an uppercut that wobbled him. Hopkins pours it on.
Talk about a guy being conditioned. And Hopkins is certainly spent. Hopkins, Tim. There's that right hand, left hook. Right hand, another left hook, uppercut, left hook, right hand, left hook. Oh.
Well, and for Johnson's part, excellent condition as well, or he'd be on the canvas by now.
I think just about anybody else would be. He must take a tremendous punch.
Motion.
That's it!
Fighters always like to prove to the guys that are gone.
And again, there's that dangerous uppercut again.
That's it!
Now Bernard's mouth is starting to open up a little bit, because he did spend an opening
bell. He came out as though he kept trying through 5. We're in round 6. Cracks. We're in under a minute to.
That's it!
It's a knockout
Good right hand again by Hopkins.
Mayo's in his 31 victory, though he's dominated this fight. We've given every round that he's taken a lot of punishment and is still standing there.
This round, though, Tim, was the fighting with his mouth wide open.
Great shape, and somehow that got his attention. Hopkins. Johnson missing. And he's resting a little bit more flat-footed here in the 7th. And Johnson stepped it up somehow. You point out, Gil, it may be that Johnson jumping in with a right-handed.
Now his right eye is starting to close, Tim.
A little swelling around that right eye. And a low blow there. The referee didn't see it, but it was definitely a belt.
Well, you have to give Hopkins credit. He could have taken a lot more time. Just got hit with a right hand.
Yeah, that's got Hopkins back alive as he forces the issue again. To get any kind of consistent. There's the low blow. It comes to boxing. There's that low blow again. You can tell the referee was ready to go forward again. We have yet to give a round. Glenn Johnson.
Quick hands. Makes a good punch.
Into a world champion in peak condition. Terrific skills. Is scheduled for 12, and Hopkins continues that pace, backing up Johnson. Johnson hiding behind those gloves, which he does effectively.
Got hurt with that left hook to the ribs, Tim.
Yes, he did. You could see him wince. Got off the ropes to get out of there.
Hopkins is for a middleweight.
Mouth of Glen Johnson. Johnson simply doesn't.
Now it's starting to look weary and
his eye on the target at all times.
world, and he's
a game and well conditioned from Miami. Minus along the way.
But that hasn't been the case.
Certainly
not in any round.
Hopkins in every punch in the book and Johnson goes into that peekaboo defense, and he does pick off a lot of punches, but meanwhile he's not throwing enough back.
Picking off a lot with his body and his head too, though, Tim.
Yes, that's true, but not as many with his head. And there's that uppercut finding its way between the gloves of Johnson, and Hopkins drives him back. Under him.
And Timmy, as we had mentioned, he looks battered and weary.
Hopkins had the round that he took the low blow.
Doesn't pay to be too game in a fight.
Under a minute to go in the 9th. Shoulder.
And bleeding.
Hopkins' relentless attack.
Tim, these are murderous punches that Hopkins is throwing. And there you see Johnson. I might stop this in the corner.
But they'd like to give him that puncher champ. It is a world championship fight, but
to stop putting on Hopkins now.
Johnson more offense here in the 10th in order to stay in the middle of doing it, or whether
Hopkins is just doing anything he wants to do. Hands, right hand in this fight. Look at that feint.
Johnson, for his part, is trying punches, but he's having difficulty finding Hopkins now.
Tim,
Hopkins pouring it on again and again. Johnson.
Well, Pat Russell's done a wonderful job in this.
At the beginning of this round, he was willing to come out to his first defeat, but it's in a championship fight against.
And Hopkins, Tim, looks like he could fight 20 rounds.
He does. And then moved him away.
Stopped this fight so he can live to fight another day.
Third end. A little more wobbly with each passing second.
Fight. That's why they had better keep a close eye on Johnson.
Winging a couple of right hands, still trying. And missing badly with the left.
Looked at him and said, "This is it for you, brother." I think we're seeing a new start. But who can he fight in the middleweights?
Well, he wants to unify the crowns.
Very doubtful if King would let any of his champions fight Fernando.
Hanging to the body in the early going here in the 11th.
As we had mentioned before, in the opening, Tim, middleweight in the world today, out of them, I just champions we didn't even have a chance against them.
Johnson still trying just to stay in this fight, wings the occasional punch, but Hopkins picks up the pace in that. Russell says, "That's enough."